In the US, and part of the reason that I'm going to be using US statistics is because we've done a little bit different forms of longitudinal research than what is available out there for a global market. But in the US, it is now considered pretty accurate that we are spending on average 12.5 hours a day with screens. How we get to this number is that if you control for multi-use, which now it is considered that anyone over the age, under the age of about 40, multi-uses technology en masse, kind of. So we are using our cell phones while we're looking at a computer screen. We're watching a movie and we're texting. You know, so if you control for that multi-use and spread it out, it's 12.5 hours. If you take the average 19-year-old right now and multiply that out, if that average 19-year-old continues to use technology at that rate, by the time they are 60, they will have dedicated 20 years of their lives to technology. So this is my 20-year-old son hugging my 60-year-old uncle. 20 years of their lives will be dedicated to this this endeavor. And oftentimes what I find is if they know that, they will then become intentional about the choices that they make with their use. We know that that 12.5 hours has to come from somewhere. It's not as though we've been given an additional 12.5 hours a day. And this is where the research tells us that that time comes from. It comes from family talk time. It comes from social practice. Those two are especially important to me as a psychologist because family talk time is where we kind of develop the basic core sense of self that sustains us through life. It's sitting around with with whoever happens to be in your home with you and having those weird, awkward conversations, having to bump up against the things you disagree with your parents or with your siblings. It's learning how to have conflict and how to have intimacy that happens in that family talk time that's crucial to the way in which the foundation of the self is laid. It's also crucial for developing the scaffolding upon which relationships will later be developed. And that's then also what concerns me about it coming from social practice. Social practice is just the opportunity to go into social settings and make an absolute idiot of yourself, to trip while you're walking into a room, and then to recover from it and find out that all of life does not end, to find out that you can live through awkward silences and conversations, and again, life does not end. But social practice is crucial, and we are taking that away at younger and younger ages. If you've got children, again, turned toward these small devices where they've got constantly stimulated images coming from, it means they are turning away from embodied connection that neurologically we know and psychologically we know is the foundation of what develops a core sense of self and healthy relational well-being. Sleep is a huge issue globally. We are experiencing less and less of it, and we are coming to know that that is having a profound effect in some ways, and we're going to talk about that. And it's also coming from physical activity, which means we are having lower and lower physical acuity in the United States. Specifically, we are now seeing preschool students